What's good with the YouTube? You already know Big Flocka with a convict's perspective, and I'm smashing, dashing, slowing on through that little bit of energy. Now check this out, people. If you haven't already, please hit the like and subscribe, man. I do a lot of things on this channel, man. Let's get it cracking. So, as you can tell by the title, I've been discussing this that I was going to be bringing forth a discussion that I had with Savage Studios, revealing an incident that occurred. As you guys all know, I was the last person to interview him on YouTube. 3 days later, he was killed. So I went out there to kick it with him for a day, get to know the guy. It changed my whole perspective of just meeting up with him. Right? We discussed a lot of different things from YouTube drama to relationship issues to how YouTube can consume you, and the image that you put forth that you project is the image that you have to live up to. And I asked him, I said, was there ever a time that anybody came at you based upon YouTube to try to get you? And he told me about one incident that occurred. Now, he said that, first he told me that, his hood out there at one time had a bounty on him for 25,000. He said that they took it off. It's all good in his neighborhood and whatnot. And the one thing that he said, which was kind of interesting, was he said, when they told me 25,000, I said, that's all I'm worth? That's exactly what he told me. And he said somehow they took it back, and that there's a lot of active cats that interact with him still and whatnot. But he did say that there was a time that someone tried to come and get him, or was out there to do something. And he explained the situation that there was an individual that was driving up and down his street, right? And, basically was, going back and forth. And it drew his attention because, when you start to see someone who's not from the area and they're going up and down the street, you're going to go over there and assess it. So eventually, when the guy pulled over, he basically assessed it right up on the spot. He said that the vehicle had no license plate, right? It was a Youngster, right? Individual had popped his hood a little bit, right? Which revealed that there was a banger right there. And he said that they pretty much put the dude on blast, and they got into it real quick. Okay. He said that based upon that, it made him high alert his senses to be really watchful of what was going on, And so I started to pry and ask him a little bit of different questions. How'd that make you feel? I mean, what were you thinking? And he said, well, I wasn't taking it serious, man. They tried to send a Youngster, man, to try to come get my ass. And he's not talking about no criminal organizations. He's just saying that people who had personal beef with him to come try to get him. And he said that he pretty much point blank everything to the dude. Like, hey, you're not going to catch me slipping. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And he said days later, on his camera, that there was an observation of someone coming up to his house, basically with a leash, right? And then he said the first time he interacted with this dude, the thing that the dude tried to tell him was that he was looking for his dog. That's why he was out there, and he called bullshit on dude. And I don't really remember if he said they got into some type of scuffle. I don't know if it was physical or whatnot, man. But pretty much, Savage was on top of his game, okay? And then he also seen this individual going up to his pad, looking for like a dog with a leash. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of makes me wonder, like, you see some of the comments, people wanting to buy dogs and whatnot. So this was the image that this person was trying to portray in the neighborhood, going door to door, trying to find the location of where Savage was exactly at. Okay. Also trying to see if there was anybody in the neighborhood, And this just goes to show, man, like I discussed before, previously, that people are going to come with false friendships. You expose any information on YouTube, social media, and whatnot, people are going to try to infiltrate that way. Knowing that he was a dog lover and whatnot, this individual tried to go out there and try to infiltrate like he was looking for his dog. And it was also camouflaging his identity to other people, because if they witness him, they see some guy that's over there with a dog or a dog leash looking for his dog. Now, apparently, the alleged, shooter in this incident, right, was inquiring about dogs that he had months before. Now, I don't know all the truths about the interactions. All that is speculation. People say that they were arguing online. I don't know. I just know that this was a story that he told specifically to me, that they did try to have someone come at him. And when he meant them, he meant a hood that he had particular issues with because of the way he was addressing things, man. But at that point in time in his life, he felt that everything that he had said that created a little target on him, it created a little conflict on him, had pretty much subsided. He felt that it was no longer an issue. He wasn't on YouTube that much. He was doing his TikTok thing, but the reason why he started doing the TikTok thing was to try to, he wanted to give himself a whole new image from what people seen in the past, and that's why he was withdrawing from YouTube. And that whole incident was when he started to catch a sense of, hey, he may have to kick back a little bit, but at the same time, he has that alpha mentality that he could not resist his actions, man. And we talked about it, man, like, about the importance of being careful and how he felt about some of the things that he said, and that maybe the alcohol got in the way, and some of the things that he addressed, and I told him, like, hey, regardless if you're drunk or whatnot, you still got to be accountable for the things that you say, because people are not going to forget, and I don't know how you're going to pattern a different image, from what you've already said, because people already got they've already categorized you as a certain individual that said this and that. And as you could tell, as soon as he was killed, those are the first things people mentioned in this video. Not that this could potentially be this or that, which is what it's turning into, is that this was a personal beef, a personal vendetta, But everybody wants to paint a whole different picture. And that's how I perceived it, man. And, it's an eye-opener, with all these different rap beefs that are going on and people being killed. You just had that, what was his name this morning? Sauce Walker or whatever. Someone tried to jack him and someone ended up dead. You've had all kinds of shootings, man, all throughout California when it comes to rappers. And the same thing can occur within this YouTube genre, and Savage Studios may be the first person, that's been on that social media platform on YouTube who gained some notoriety and became infamous in a sense to be shot, to be killed. And see, this is an eye-opener for everybody to look at things a little bit different, man. That this is what can occur when you're not sensitive to the content that you put out, when you're not cautious for the things that you say, and for when you want to engage or indulge in conflict with people that you may not even know on social media. Not everybody's going to come and just give it to you like this, man. There's going to be those that are going to want to peel your cap. You know what I'm saying? And this is an eye-opener for everybody to look at. And that his actions upset people so much that not only, the murder that occurred at this time frame, there was over a year ago they tried to have someone go at him, man, for whatever neighborhood it was. You know what I'm saying? And if someone had a fucking bounty on me for $25,000, I'd be like, fuck, man, I don't give a fuck if it was 25, 10, or 50. Fucking, I don't want no bounty on my motherfucking head, man. And the fact that he was nonchalant about it, but he said that bounty was taken off and whatnot, and I'm just like, man, I'm observing it, man. I'm like, I know the game, and I'm seeing a youngster who hasn't came full circle the effects of the actions of what people may perceive you as. It's a dangerous game. It's cutthroat. People are going to sit there and try to find any type of loophole to get action at you if they can. If you provide that, if you give them that opportunity, posting where you're at on a daily basis, that this is where I live, I'm out here and whatnot, man. And there's going to be those that just don't like you regardless of what you say, just based upon your affiliations, based upon comments you may have made. It's the reality of it. And this story that he told me was like, man, it was an eye-opener, and I'm thinking in my head, like, man, he got to be cautious out here, man, because everybody knew where he was at, the Yucca Valley area. He was putting out where he was working, because that was another goal that he had in mind was to, have a tattoo shop. You know what I'm saying? Was to do tattoos. He wanted to be famous that way, and everybody's seen the video of No Face, No Case, where he was, where they're driving by, someone seen him on the floor. He was right next to his car that he was driving, which apparently was his new girlfriend that he just had got with, and the man was just still trying to find himself. I think that a lot of things that occurred, within the YouTube world affected everything personally, from his relationships to friendships and whatnot. And I think he wanted to get past all that. Because I know he really, really, really had a lot of love for his wife. And I know he had a lot of resentment and regret in his actions. And I know that he was always hoping that maybe their opportunity would change. This came out of his mouth. You know what I'm saying? And he felt like he was going to do whatever he could to change that. And I know he told me this. He said, look, if I could pick between the notoriety and fame that I gained with YouTube or having my family back, he said, I'll take this family back every day. And that's the one lesson that I did learn from him was, look, don't let the YouTube world consume you to where people see your actions and start to question who you are as an individual. Don't give them the power of control over you, because that's exactly what he did. And that, in the end, led up to his death. It led up to other attempts on him. It led up to conflict everywhere he went, where the man couldn't even live his life because they didn't see Steven. You know what I'm saying? They seen Savage Studios. The, flamboyant, fucking boisterous, fucking alpha male. You know what I'm saying? That wants to fight everybody. And you know what I'm saying? That's just the image that he gave. And people are only going to see who you are on YouTube. They're not going to see you for who you may really be at times. Because we can all have that alpha male. We could all be about that action. We could all express ourselves in that way. But that becomes a one-man show. No one is going to sit there and stand behind you, when you're putting yourself in a position that brings the attention, brings the heat, And like I said, man, the discussion I had with him was a very, was an eye-opener on a lot of things because, I seen what he was talking about because I started to experience a little bit of that myself. But, we're all human at times, and we're going to clap back at times at people, and we're going to have issues and whatnot. But, it gave me enough sense to know that at least I had enough mature level not to do anything that would be damage that I couldn't control. And I think that a lot of damage he caused was because he could not maintain what was occurring. I think when he got into this YouTube genre, I don't think he expected to have the amount of hate that you experience in this YouTube world. It's the truth, man. People are always talking smack. And 99% of these dudes ain't about it that talk smack, but it is what it is. You have no control over it. They're going to do it, and they're going to try to poke at you and try to get a response. The more you respond, the more ammunition you give them, and the more control you give them over your life. And that's just the truth of it, and this led to people wanting to come get them, and there's been a lot of things that have been put out there, man, and I'm going to say this. First and foremost, the rumor mill's out there about what happened. Personal issue, but you still got a man that's going to court. So I don't know if the person who allegedly did it. I don't know. It's not my business. But we do know is that Savage lost his life, and more than likely, it was because of his actions on YouTube. It was because of the beefs that he created. It was because of the shit that he was talking. So for those that have YouTube genre channels, whether you're active or inactive, it doesn't matter, man, because there's always someone out there that is ready to peel your cap, that is willing to do it, and has no remorse about doing it. I've said this many times before. I could have a positive message. I could be saving the world of cancer and, save 20 kids from this and that. And there's still going to be those that are going to have some type of conflict with me. There goes my phone. There's going to be still those that are going to have a certain image of me because of my past, man. And, let Savage Studios acts and actions let it be something that we can learn from. Not to repeat the same cycle of events that have occurred, because in the rap game right now, man, there's tons of rap beefs and people are dying, man. And we can't have that start to transcend over to the YouTube genre, because we're dealing with people's lives, man. And so we got to humanize it. At the end of the day, a lot of us have kids, we have mothers, we have relationships, we have all that stuff, man. And I don't think that we want any harm done to them or them to go through the same pain that other people have to go through. With that said, it's your boy Flacco. Real quick spill, man. I wish I could elaborate more on it, but this was just one story, and it was very concise in how he presented it, man. As far as that, there was one attempt where someone was sent out there to try to get him, or not sent. One dude that went out there with the intentions of trying to take him out, and it's kind of funny because it was almost done in a similar fashion as how this occurred, and maybe it was him. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit there and put that title on anybody, but some people may question about the bounty. I question the bounty because I never heard of any hood putting a bounty on anybody. So I don't know if this was just something that he heard through the rumor mill, or, someone that was reliable that gave him that insight. But this is what he was said, word of mouth, out of his mouth. And everybody knows that when you tell me something, I present it how I hear it. You know what I'm saying? I don't put no 10 on a 1. I don't sugarcoat it. I don't try to embellish it. I try to go word for word how it's revealed to me. Anyways, this is your boy Flacco. I'm out.